invincible.
Alright. So, welcome back, Player Circle Sports. I'm with Laurent, Mark, and this is the second segment before I make my big revelation about who the next super team will be in the season from now. But first, let's discuss the trade. It was Paul George to OKC. What did the Pacers get in return?
Oh, what's his name? Oladipo?
Oladipo.
And Sabonis?
Sabonis is
Sabonis.
All right.
Yeah.
So, was that a good deal on the part of the Pacers?
On the Pacers?
Yeah.
No.
From what I heard from like different sources and stuff, no, because they gave up better deals for themselves in the long
Like
run
what?
in the East.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. I didn't look at the exact players. I just
Okay.
heard that they gave up better deals in the East. Okay, because they didn't want to keep him in the East. They wanted to make sure he was out in the West.
Yeah.
So because of that,
So he wouldn't be
they gave
successful.
up some good deals. Like, I'll tell you right now, one I sort of do know is Boston's was through the roof. Boston went through the roof. They gave up Crowder. They were giving up a first rounder. It might have even been two. And, I forget who
Because
the
they
other
have
player
that
was.
many.
Yeah, and there was another player.
Well, their last year's pick, Brown? No.
No, it wasn't Brown. He was the one untouchable, but there was another one. Anyways,
Oladipo?
2 first rounders.
Bradley?
You know, it could have been.
Smart?
I can't remember. I
Alright.
can't remember who it was. But Crowder, 2 first rounders, and someone else.
Yeah.
That's a way better deal.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't do it because they didn't want him in the East.
Yeah,
So they pushed
that
him
makes
out
sense.
west.
So you agree, bad deal?
Absolutely bad deal. Like, yeah, there's hope there for Oladipo or Domantas to develop into something. But like I said in the last segment, when you're trading for a superstar or
You gotta get
all-star,
tons
you have to get a lot of stuff because in the ultimate run, it's going to look like you got nothing. For example, the Chris Paul deal,
Yeah.
they got a lot of players.
Yeah.
It looks like they got
Like, Indy
ripped
got
off.
nothing.
Whenever you trade for a superstar, you get ripped off. Like,
Yeah.
you're always going to get ripped off somehow. You might,
Like, Indy got
might as well
nothing.
try to get the most.
Yeah.
More trading chips, more
Yeah.
pieces, so you can build on that, you know?
They didn't even get a pick.
Yeah. So no, it was a bad deal.
And yeah, the reason why it was especially bad is because the Pacers, basically without Paul George, they're rebuilding. So you're not taking picks when you're
Yeah.
rebuilding? How does
Yeah.
that make
Well,
sense?
now they're gonna build around Miles Turner, which is a great center. He'll be all right.
So-
but that's
but
it. That's
still-
all they have.
So what does that trade? Oh, was that a good deal on the part of George to go to OKC?
What do you mean, good decision?
Good decision on the
I
part.
think so. Like, I think what it is that hopefully, I know OKC is obviously gonna want to try to keep both of them going forward, but I think Paul George is like a rental. Like, he wants to show up, see how he molds with what Russell Westbrook for that year. If it works out, maybe convince him to go somewhere else. LA. Yeah. Even then, even that decision to try to go to Oklahoma and building him to LA is heavily dependent on how's this kid gonna do. This Lonzo Ball kid. He better prove something this year because the rest of the league's looking at him.
And to be honest, I don't even know how much. Like, obviously, Paul George had a say. He did have a say.
Yeah.
But even him, I bet you, if you were to get him, say, off camera and stuff, even he was probably a little shell-shocked because OKC came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They were not on the radar.
Yeah.
They were on no one's radar. They just came out of nowhere. So I feel like he just sort of just went with the flow.
Yeah.
I don't even think Paul George cares this year. I think he was just sort of like, just put me somewhere, let me play. His mind's in LA.
And I think that was the second part of their plan. I think their first part of the Oklahoma's plan failed, so that's why they really went for Paul George.
Yeah.
I think they wanted Griffin there too.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
So, I think it was a good move on his part because just like with Chris Paul, Paul George, he even publicly said it. I will go to the Cavs. I will sign an extension if LeBron stays. Why did he not go to the Cavs? It's because probably LeBron said, you know what, I'm not staying, so you might as well go elsewhere and I'll hook with you, you know, somewhere else.
And I'm pretty sure Indy said the same thing that everyone else said. We don't want love.
No.
Like, everybody said the same thing. No one wants love.
Sucks, man.
There is no love for Kevin Love. I'm
It
telling
sucks
you.
because he's being judged basically on the finals when really he can at least get you
Hey, that's
there.
the way
you
it
know?
goes.
I know.
That's the way it goes.
Okay, so was that a good deal on OKC's part?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
For example,
They had to start by.
not only that, but for financial reasons, Oladipo's contract is $2 or $3 million more than Paul George's contract. So they cut money there.
Yeah.
And who cares Sabonis? Like, he didn't really develop into anything. They still have Enes Kanter and Steven Adams. Like, they're set at the front court.
But for a 1-year
alright.
rental, though, that's a good deal.
Well, we'll see what happens. They're obviously going to try to sign them. Like, I think, because Stephen A. Smith said this, and I actually believed him because I was actually thinking exactly the same thing that morning. I was like, Russell Westbrook carried him to the 6th spot. Now you have Paul George. You could go maybe right up to the 4th.
Fourth, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like 4th highest.
You're certainly going to be higher than the Clippers.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
Yeah. But
And they might make it to the 2nd round, right?
And you have to realize
maybe with two, you have 2 stars.
Westbrook's
right?
a good defender, right? He's pretty decent now.
He's
good.
decent.
He's
He's
good.
To have
decent.
that and have that guy there, like
And on top of that, he'll be
Defense.
able to spend more energy on the defense now because he won't have to do as much offensively.
Yeah.
So
or maybe there's a lot of smokes and screens going on, but Sam Presti did a good job signing George. Maybe they're bringing someone else back next year.
So defensively, definitely not a problem. Now they have
right.
more offensive power, so
yeah.
so they're more well-rounded.
and
team.
someone-
And you're taking a lot of the pressure off of Westbrook, right?
Because you finally sit down and not
Yeah.
worry about a 10-point comeback.
So
right?
what's the next move for OKC to get over that hump, though?
Well, they got it. First of all, they have to find someone to either take Steven Adams or Kanter.
Or
they have to.
Or
Dude, Steven Adams is making $24 million.
You just need a bench. They have a good starting lineup now.
No,
Adams, Kanter.
no, not
Yeah.
enough.
That
Not
front
enough.
court- that front
You
court is
need
pretty
3-star powered players.
Yeah, you
need
do, but I'm
three.
just saying that starting lineup now is
No,
decent.
you try to
They
trade
need
it
a
off
bench.
and get someone
like
else.
the Wolves. The Wolves look good.
What
They need a bench.
What if Chris Paul went to OKC?
It would be dangerous.
And they would do like it's basically retro Harden, KD, Westbrook, basically.
Yeah.
It would be pretty disgusting. Like
That would be nice,
They're
right?
gonna bring you the
Yeah.
second in the West.
And if they brought Chris Paul George would probably stay, right?
yeah, of
I think so.
course.
I think he probably would have. Yeah, so that would be it would be a good move, but
All right.
all these trades. Can't wait to watch Game of Thrones.
let us know in the comment section, was that a good deal on either part?
Good deal.
great deal.
Let us know if they're inching closer to becoming a super team because that's what you need now.
Fourth spot.
Like, subscribe, and stay tuned
Down
for
below.
my big reveal.
Here we go.